Hey guys, it's Kat. So today I'm doing a good books to read video, and this list video is kind of a recommendation list of good books that I've liked and that I've kind of really enjoyed reading. And so it's just a suggestion, like you guys don't have to read it if you don't want to, but I'm just, these are books that I've loved. And the reason why I picked to do this video is because I love reading. I'm an avid reader and I read like 24/7, and recently due to school and the IB program I haven't been able to read that much, but I still, whenever I have free time, take out a book and start reading. And so I thought I'd share my passion with you guys. So let's get into it. So the first book today I have is very common and everyone I know has read it and everyone I know has loved it. It's The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, and I'm pretty sure most of you have read it too, but it's such an amazing book, and I love how John Green writes his books and writes his stories. It makes you feel so connected with the characters in the book, so I thought this was a really good book. The second book I have is the If I Stay series by Gail Forman, and there are two books, If I Stay and Where She Went, and I do not have the books with me, but I will insert a picture here. And I really like that book. I think it brought up a lot of emotions within me, and I heard the movie was really good as well. I haven't watched it yet, but let me know how it goes. The third book is The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. I read this recently in school in my English class, and I do not regret reading it. It is such an amazing book. It's a story about soldiers in the Vietnam War, and I don't know, I felt so connected with the characters in this book, and how he writes, how the feelings of the characters brings out so much emotion, and I don't know, I really like the book. Another book is 13 Reasons Why, and I do not have that book as well, but I'll put a picture in. I read this a really long time ago. It's kind of like a psychological mystery thriller kind of book. It's pretty scary, but it's about this girl who dies and leaves a tape for this boy which contains 13 reasons why she committed suicide, and I think it was a really good read. It was a pretty fast read, but it was a really good one. Another one is Matilda. It is a childhood book. I read it when I was like 11, and I don't know, the book is it's really lighthearted and it's for kids really, but I think anyone in any age should be able to read it. It's by Roald Dahl. Another book that I recommend, it's not a book, it's a series. It has I think 12 books in the series. I haven't read all 12 because I couldn't find the last few. When I got after the 8th book, I kind of stopped reading it because I couldn't find the rest, and then I only found the rest like a year after I read it, so I was just like, I'm not gonna start that again. But if I had found the rest of those books within the time frame that I was reading it, I would have loved to read it. It's the House of Night series by P.C. Cast. It is a fantasy kind of book because it deals with like all these supernatural powers, and there's a lot of like paranormal and vampire stuff in the book. It's really good. I thought it was really fun, and normally I wouldn't read this kind of fantasy books, but when I read this I was very intrigued and it made me want to read more types of books like this. Another book which I'm sure you all should know is the Mortal Instruments series. This is the last book. I believe there are 6 different books in the series, and I believe the first movie has come out already, which is City of Bones, I think. Yeah, I felt the movie was kind of degrading to the book. I felt the books explain more and portray more emotion and more information, and it's much more fun, the book, I felt. But yeah, you guys should definitely read that if you haven't watched the movie already, or if you have, start on the second book because like the books are hands down amazing. Another book that I've been loving or have loved because I read most of them in the past when I was in 9th grade, it's by Ellen Hopkins, and she has a bunch of these books. The one that I'm recommending is Identical. It's a also kind of a thriller reality kind of book. It's about teenagers and them going through a lot of stuff and and a very emotional time in their lives, and it was really relatable, and I fell in love with it, honestly. So the book that I'm recommending is identical, but she's wrote a lot kind of in the same genre. There's Crank, Impulse, Burned, Glass. They're really, really good. Another book which is a classic is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, and it's a very thought-provoking and emotional book that you all should definitely give it a try. I've thought I read it a few years ago, and so as a kid I didn't quite understand it, but when I read it again recently, I was like, wow, like the amount of content and the amount of feelings it can provoke is very, very good. And I really like the book, and if you haven't read it, which I'm pretty sure you all must have because it's a classic, but if you haven't, you should definitely give it a try. And yeah, that's it for my good books to read video. I hope you guys liked it, and if you have any book recommendations that you think I would like, please leave it in the comments below. And yeah, bye.